Let's get to some of your voicemails. Voicemails can be left 24 hours a day at 219-2-DAVID-P. Here's one about Michelle Bachmann. Let's take a listen.
Hi, David. I just felt like leaving a message. I'll get more specific another time. But I'd like you to point out that Michelle Bachmann is nuts. Never mind her politics. Or not never mind, but, you know, what does she say? Don't fill out the census, kids. It's dangerous. The woman's a nut job. I saw her and Marcus in Ames, Iowa. I just went to sort of rubberneck, see what those people were doing. He's big, she's small. They're both punks.
All right, so interesting. People wanting me to point out Michelle Bachmann is nuts. I think I have done that, Lewis.
I think we do a good job at that.
And here's another voicemail about Lewis admitting to texting while driving.
Yes, David. This is Bill Klug, KLUG from Dallas, Texas. And I'm just listening to your discussion on texting and talking on a cell phone while driving. The thing that I did notice, when all of you men were talking about that, you were talking about it generically as though your emotions would always be the same. I don't know about you, but every once in a while my emotions will fluctuate from one feeling to another. And if I'm really agitated, I would begin to question my ability to text, and the focus would not be as clear as when I'm at a steady, sound place, which I even question if that's possible.
So what do you think about that, Lewis? You've talked about many times
that makes sense.
You're able to text and drive and talk and drive and do all sorts of stuff. Would your emotions ever play into your ability to do both of those things at once?
I think absolutely. I know that I've seen people get into accidents when they're very upset. Not actually seen it happen, but heard about it from them. So, right. I don't think I've ever been in a situation like that, but it definitely plays a role.
So if, like, for example, you were upset because a nude picture of you that, of course, has never been taken.
I was irate.
Were to leak.
I think even aside from texting and talking on a phone while driving, just being that upset could affect your driving, plain and simple.
Last thing we need is road rage Lewis on the roads out there in Massachusetts or anywhere else for that matter.
Agreed.
Let's get to your emails, david@davidpakman.com. A lot of people questioning the validity and the legitimacy of the psychic that was in studio on Monday. Frank says, couldn't you at least have brought a good psychic on the show? She was obviously cold reading, and she was obviously not very good at it. Mike says, Dave, come on, man, a psychic. It's called cold reading, and that's all it is. I mean, this lady isn't even very good at it. I don't listen to the show much, but I checked this out and was assuming you were just having her on to make fun of her. No, I was open. I wanted to see what could she do.
Right.
Because there was a discussion about, is this a real science or not? Chad, I have to say I was very disappointed in the psychic on your show. I have seen better. On the topic of me sitting next to a passenger of size on a United Airlines flight last week, a listener from Olympia, Washington, who I'm not going to mention their name because of the content of their message. David, I really appreciate your sensitive handling of the passenger of size issue on your show. I would definitely qualify as a passenger of size myself. I can get the armrest down with some difficulty, and I have never been asked to buy a second seat. I find my fellow passengers are generally very understanding, letting me leave the armrest up if I ask nicely. Last time I flew, though, was 2006, and I've decided to cease flying altogether unless I can afford to purchase 2 seats for myself. I was worried I would be offending people with that story.
Right.
And then Daniel, passenger of size? Are you kidding me with this PC jargon? You sat next to a fat person. There is nothing derogatory about saying someone is fat if they are actually overweight. I was using the term passenger of size because there is a policy on the United Airlines website that is described that way. Natan, real quick.
Yeah, I just want to say it's kind of a bizarre argument to say that it's okay to call someone fat if they're of size. It's like saying you can call someone retarded if they're actually retarded.
Right. No, certainly a term can be a derogatory term regardless of whether the definition of that term is met.
Right.
All right. That's it for the show. Join us on the bonus show. Plenty to talk about. davidpakman.com/membership.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.